tonight on Channel 6 News at 10.
New details are emerging in the arrest of a Temple pediatric doctor. We talked with one parent who says she was shocked.
Then we try to get them to cut the cord to social media. Who will do it? You'd be surprised.
Warming trend on the way for us this week. We'll take a look at the forecast ahead.
Channel 6 News at 10 starts right now. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Doug Curran.
And I'm Leslie Draffin. New tonight, one person is dead after a shooting at an apartment complex in Killeen.
It happened just after 6:30 in the 800 block of Root Avenue near Rancier. Channel 6 News reporter Curtis Quillen is live on the scene now with the very latest. Curtis, what do we know?
Well, Doug, Leslie, we know there is at least one victim, but police say it's too early to tell just how many suspects we're looking for. One look behind me, you can see this is still a very active crime scene. One thing police are still working to determine is just how many gunshots were fired here. Just after 6:30 tonight, police responded to a call for a shooting victim. We don't yet know if the victim was male or female, but Justice of the Peace Claudia Brown pronounced them dead just before 8 o'clock tonight. Again, we don't know how many shots were fired. However, police do tell us the victim was shot multiple times.
Officers arrived and the victim was non-responsive, and the officers did notice the victim was suffering from multiple gunshot wounds.
This is the second homicide investigation here in Killeen in 2018, according to a police spokesperson. Again, this is a developing story right now. Police ask anyone with any information or anyone who saw anything to contact the Bell County Crime Stoppers. That information is up on your screen and on our website. We'll continue to update as more information becomes available on the air and online at kcentv.com. For now, live in Killeen, Curtis Quillen, Channel 6 News. Guys.
All right, thanks, Curtis. Well, time now for a first check of that forecast. Dry weather in store for the next few days.
Chief Meteorologist Andy Anderson's joining us now with a look at the weather. Hey, Andy.
Hey there, Doug, Leslie,
Andy.
Clear skies for us tonight. Atmosphere is fairly dry. Live look from our Dodge Country skyline weather camera. And I can promise you one more really pretty day on Tuesday. Wednesday not looking bad either, but we do put in a chance of some rain. Right now we're under the influence of this large ridge of high pressure sitting down near Corpus Christi and still being influenced by the low that moved through here over the weekend. Some cloud cover back through the Arklatex. That's about it. But the two in combination are bringing the air in from out of the northwest, which is a dry quadrant. So we're looking at sunshine tomorrow after clear skies for us tonight. Right now you're looking at readings of 66 in Gatesville, 64 in Temple, 67 in Killeen, 59 in Waco, 64 in Marlin, 64 as of 10 o'clock in Cameron. Tomorrow morning we'll be down as cool as 54 degrees. That's not a bad start to the day. But the winds are out of the south, very light. We should warm up nicely. We'll make 75 by lunchtime tomorrow. Complete details of the forecast and more about this rain on Wednesday coming up a little later in the news.
All right, Andy, thank you very much. Several Killeen City Council members and candidates are speaking out tonight. They say another candidate is spreading falsehoods and trying to influence the way they vote.
The comments were all captured on camera, and now we are hearing them for the first time. Channel 6 News reporter Amani Payne spoke exclusively with these candidates and breaks it all down for us. Amani.
Doug and Leslie, it's a messy situation that's coming to light on the first day of early voting. It already has some candidates turning to the police department for an investigation. Days before Killeen residents decide who will sit on the city council, one of the at-large candidates, Patsy Bracey, is facing backlash.
It's some mean people here. That's all I'm going to say. Okay.
This is one of several recordings of Bracey captured by mayoral candidate Holly Teal. Teal says it all started when she and candidate Melissa Brown wanted to look into certain organizations' finances and the way certain candidates were running their campaigns. That's when they say Bracey advised them to stop meddling for their own good.
But I'm just worried. I don't want Melissa to be hurt. But Melissa will talk, and that's why I told you not to share this.
The pair claim Bracey told them they would be run out of town for some of their political views, but that they'd be safe if they removed some of those views from their social media pages.
So if Melissa took her stuff down, she won't get hurt?
I believe so. I think so. Freedom of speech, but it stops at the city limits of Killeen.
Bracey fired off on other candidates and council members, like candidate Placidio Rivera.
Like a little bird. Everybody thinks he's an illegal. He's not legal. But that doesn't mean he's from Puerto Rico. That's where he says he's from.
I'm illegal. I'm a racist. I'm this, I'm that. When you try to pit candidate against candidate, candidate against current council members, it makes it difficult.
And here she tells Teal if Brown doesn't stop meddling, Councilwoman Shirley Fleming will use Councilman Gregory Johnson and Steve Harris to handle things.
Miss Fleming's not going to be the one to hurt Melissa or me, is she?
No, but she works through Greg and Steve. She needs to back off. Because those boys don't mean nobody no good.
All three sent Channel 6 statements saying Bracey's claims are false, and they aren't influenced by anyone but the citizens when it comes to voting. Things came to a head at Brown's town hall meeting when she and Teal tried confronting Bracey.
You don't scare me anymore, Miss Bracey. I'm not afraid of you.
Eventually, Bracey left. Now, Teal and Brown say it's important to speak out to stop this kind of behavior.
I'm hoping to help kids stand up to their bullies. If I can stand up to an adult bully, they can stand up to a small bully.
Again, I don't think that's something that anybody running for public office should be threatening anybody else running for public office. I don't feel like I should have to change my campaigning because of it.
Teal and Brown say they want everything said in these recordings investigated by the Killeen Police Department or the DA's office. We did reach out to Bracey multiple times today, but she refused to comment. Now we'll have some of these recordings on KCENTV.com after this newscast. Doug and Leslie.
All right, thanks, Amani. Former President George H.W. Bush is recovering tonight at Houston Methodist Hospital after contracting an infection. Mr. Bush was hospitalized Sunday morning, less than a day after his wife Barbara's funeral. An expert in geriatric medicine says elderly people are often at higher risk of infections. A spokesperson for the family says Mr. Bush is responding well to the treatments. A Temple doctor arrested and accused of possessing child porn is set to appear in a detention hearing tomorrow. Dr. John Palmer has been temporarily suspended by the Texas Medical Board. A criminal complaint says investigators seized a laptop and 3 hard drives from his office. One allegedly included multiple files showing children engaged in sexually explicit conduct. Now, we have not confirmed if there are actually any child victims in this case. Palmer could face up to 20 years in prison if he's convicted.
And tonight we talk social media. Could you cut the cord and go without it? A new study released recently says all of the people, millennials in fact, are cutting the cord more now than at any other time. In fact, 91% of all millennials surveyed use social media in some capacity. Here are the most common apps that they're cutting down on: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tinder. But get this, Snapchat is on the rise. And here are 4 reasons they're cutting back: wasting too much time, too much negativity, wanting more privacy, and getting pressure to get attention. So how does the trusting of social media stack up with millennials? And what is it like to cut the cord for a week? Well, I spoke with one mom in Killeen who did just that.
Have you heard of Facebook? You know what this is?
Are you doing enough to protect your users' privacy?
With Facebook in the news lately about privacy and sharing too much information, many are cutting the cord on social media.
All your personal information somehow wound up in the hands of a foreign country.
But how long will it last for those people? Can they and their companies survive without it?
What do I do at work now?
Elon Musk, in protest, deleted the SpaceX and Tesla Facebook pages. Many in Central Texas are addicted to Facebook, cannot imagine themselves giving it up, and are okay with the privacy issues.
I'm on my Facebook, I couldn't even tell you how many times.
Meet Elizabeth Flint. She's a mom of 4, lives in Killeen, works full-time, and is addicted to Facebook.
It's my first thing I go to as soon as I wake up, and it is the last thing I look at right before I go to bed.
And somewhere in the middle, she says she checks it upwards of 30 times a day.
If I'm giving the kids a bath, you know, and I'm about to wash their hair and I'm like, oh, let me check real quick, you know, and do it. It's insane. Even on the cruises, we have purchased the social media package for me.
So in our little informal experiment here, we're going to delete the app. Elizabeth is willing to cut the cord herself from social media for 1 week.
I've told my parents, my brother, and I've told my coworkers, and everybody's like, there's no way you of all people are going to get off your Facebook.
So to prove them all wrong, she deleted her app. There's the app. All right, there's the button. Go. Do it. It's gone.
God. Oh, my goodness.
That wasn't so bad.
Oh, we'll see.
A new study says millennials are cutting back on social media, but for Xavier Johnson, a high school student, he says not a chance.
I would not give up social media.
Why?
It's a big part of my life. I live on it, basically. If I had to cut the cord, I would have to find something better to do.
You know, like actually talk to people. But is that such a bad thing? Dr. Christine Limbers is a clinical psychologist at Baylor and says the so-called addiction to social media is triggered by dopamine, a chemical in the brain that makes you feel good.
You eat chocolate, you get a paycheck. Those are things that we enjoy, we like, and dopamine is released in the brain during those moments and then are associated with that pleasurable effect.
So not getting as much of that chemical does make a difference.
If you had to give up, chocolate or something you enjoyed doing or something that brought you pleasure, that's going to be difficult for people.
Difficult for Elizabeth, too.
Day one of me cutting the cord from social media has been kind of rough. I still find myself wanting to check my notifications and check my messages, but so it's got a little easier.
So as privacy issues become more prevalent and some cut the cord completely, Elizabeth went just 1 week and is very happy to have her notifications back.
Finally get my Facebook and my Instagram and my Snapchat back. I'm really excited. I'm a little nervous to see how many notifications I have, but yeah, it's been a long week and it's finally over.
The study also showed those who cut the cord significantly increased productivity at work and got better sleep. Imagine that. We'll be right back right after this.